Having spent 7 years in management consulting and 6 years at the Wharton School and at UC Berkeley, I have seen firsthand how successful people manage their time. Today, I will share some of those habits with you. I ordered the tips from the least to most impactful so that you can work your way up. Treat it like a game and your reward is going to be time. I've included timestamps below, so feel free to skip ahead to sections that speak most to you. Level 1 talks about making sure that you have a healthy body and mind. Health is wealth. Then moving on to level 2, where we cut off things that no longer serve you. After that, you work on having a clear and focused mind. And finally, we explore strategies to help you be more productive at work so you avoid late nights. If you are tired after work or after school, the chances are you will be glued to your phone and to the couch. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I've been there before. But you wouldn't be watching this video if that's what you want to do, right? Whatever you want to accomplish, you need a strong foundation. And everything begins with health. Protect your sleep, work on muscle gain, and feed your body with good nutrition. In my 20s, I made a lot of lazy choices. I was flying every week for 3 years from the East Coast to the West Coast. I had so much fun with work, so that's a part of my life I don't want to change. But I really didn't need that box of wheat thin, that extra bag of pretzels, and second dinner in business class. Frequently delayed flights, habitual processed food, my mistake of canceling my gym membership all lowered my energy level. I ended up working with a nutritionist to unwind and unlearn those bad habits. It took me a while to get my health back on track. So I hope you learn from my mistakes and don't have to repeat what I did. Your health comes first. Choose one form of entertainment. I like to read Korean comics after work to decompress. In fact, I don't watch TV. I went to a boarding school for high school and the only television in school was tucked away in the cafeteria on the 12th floor. So I didn't have a habit of watching television as a kid. If I ever do watch something, it would be with friends, with family, as a social activity, or on a treadmill. Now, when I'm living by myself, I don't have a television. I'm not saying that TV is all bad and evil. What I'm suggesting is choose one form of entertainment and stick with it. So that way, you're not spreading yourself too thin. Next month, August, actually marks my 1-year anniversary quitting alcohol. In Korea, the legal drinking age is 19. However, I didn't start drinking until much later because of 2 reasons. One of my favorite quotes is by Andy Warhol, and it says, "The idea of waiting for something makes it more exciting." So I thought, if I can be enjoying drinking for the rest of my life, then I might as well enjoy the anticipation. And the second reason was I was focused on trying to lose weight. Cutting off alcohol was the easiest thing to do at the time. Thankfully, not drinking helped me keep my clear skin, grow strong money habits, learn to have fun on my own. Every quarter, I check my iPhone screen time and go through my phone to decide on which apps I want to delete. Here are the list of apps I've deleted so far. If you know you'll be downloading the app that you just deleted, take a second, be mindful right before you open it and ask yourself. Because most of the times we do those things scrolling and mindless numbing our brain out of habit and not out of necessity. Delay that instant gratification. Here's a fun experiment. Count the number of times the players in white pass the basketball. Did you count it, or did you see the gorilla? The invisible gorilla experiment reveals 2 things. 1, our brain has limited capacity. 2, we have no idea how much we are missing out when we are multitasking. When did you actually get to all the tabs you have open, told yourself, I'm gonna get to this later? You can do anything, but you cannot be everything, everywhere, all at once. The only time I multitask is when I'm using my brain and my body together. So when I'm on a treadmill, on a call, but I try not to take calls and try to write an email because I'll be using similar parts of my brain at the same time. This is a strategy I learned on the job and later found on the book, Getting Things Done. It's considered the Bible of productivity. The author, David Allen, called this process capture. When you have an idea, write it down. Offline, online, does not matter. Offload it from your brain and just completely empty it out. Promise me one thing. Let's make sure that you keep all your ideas and things that you have to get done in one consolidated place. The last thing you want to do is shuffle through to figure out where that idea was. Was it on your phone, a sticky note, a post-it? For me, I use Notion for my personal to-dos and OneNote for work-related things. Your mind is for having ideas, not holding them. I've noticed that the executives I worked with had a habit of putting their phones away in meetings and in coffee chats. And when I asked one leader, he said, Yujin, not a lot of people these days put their phones away. So when you you do, you tend to stand out. Even the sight of a phone can be very powerful and distracting. On a similar note, I unsubscribe from newsletters, especially the ones that ask me to spend money. If you haven't read the newsletter in a week, the chances are you will probably not read it and it's no longer going to be relevant for you. The same strategy applies to notifications on your phone. Life could just go on without those notifications. Your hinge date can wait. Let's stay focused. Ready for the final level? Level 4 is at the crux of all of this. I have a system for organizing my life and work. Today, let's focus on the latter part because work can take anywhere from 7 to 14 hours. This is a system I learned from a Japanese productivity book. Think logically when you create a workflow. Let's take starting a new project, for example. I would begin with understanding what the administrative work involves. So what are the due dates? When is someone going to be on vacation? Then I work my way backwards. What is our end product and how do we get there? I assign numbers to folders so that it's easy to find and replicate the system. Basically, what you're doing here is creating a routine. Even if you don't have an office job, you can apply the same system. While I was a student at Wharton and at UC Berkeley, this is how I set up my folders for all my classes. Save time by automating repetitive tasks. Find a way to incorporate muscle memory for a better workflow. I like to play around with Excel in my spare time. Fingers kind of remember where to hit to create a pivot table, create a new column, add and delete or hide. All those things add up over time. And now I'm learning all the shortcuts on Premiere Pro like a pro. On a separate document, I have a copy-paste templates, emails for introductions, Google Calendar invites with Zoom link, and at the title, agenda, and everything I need to put in. This serves two purposes. One, you lessen the mistakes. I'm not forgetting anything. Two, it saves time. You don't have to go through and think about what do I need to do and what needs to get done. By the way, whenever I send a Google Calendar invite, my name will be the first thing they see on the calendar invite along with the purpose of the meeting because I'm thinking in the other person's shoe. And that way, they will come into the meeting knowing who they will be speaking with, me, and also understanding what the purpose of the call will be. Sometimes when I look at my calendar, I feel very overwhelmed because so many things going on, so many obligations, and my personal life can get very hectic. And then I stress over how am I going to fit everything in? But I shifted my mindset and it started merging things. And what I mean by that is I always offer to go for a walk outside for coffee or even stroll around inside the office building too. So that way I can get some more steps in and still create that social bond. This makes work a lot more enjoyable. And I know that it's very hard to stay upbeat in a demanding job, but you got this. And as a first step, we finished watching this video. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, comments, or feedback, please leave it in the comments below and I'll make sure to get back to you. And I'll be working on another how-to video. Until then, stay healthy and see you next time.